Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. We are here with Aries, the cougar. And I just thought this looked so beautiful as I was walking by and saw him up on his top platform. Never seen any of the cougars up on that top platform. He must be quite proud of himself up there. Are you? Are you so proud? Yeah, you did a good job. Don't know how you're getting down from there. I bet you used the ladder on the side, didn't you? I bet you did. Well, you're going to have to figure it out yourself, because I cannot do anything for you up there. You think that's funny, huh? No way I'd come in, huh? There's 4 enclosures here, each one about 1,200 square feet, put together with tunnels that Aries, Orion, and Artemis, their sister, share. Of course, they're all fixed because we don't believe in breeding cats for life in prison. They came here because a hunter in Idaho shot their mom and thought he was going to make pets out of the cubs. And one of the cubs, Orion, was crying, and he thought there must be something wrong with it, so he dropped it off on the long side of the road. It ended up making its way to a farmer's front yard, and the farmer called a rehabber and sent the cat to a rehabber. Meanwhile, the brother of the guy who shot their mother turned him in, and the Wildlife Commission out there went and confiscated the other 2 cubs and sent them to the same rehabber, so the cubs ended up being reunited at the rehabber. But then they told the rehabber that she only had 2 options. She could send them to a zoo where they would be bred generation after generation for life in cages, or she had to euthanize them. So we worked with her, and for the first time ever got the state of Idaho, and since then several other states, to change their policies so that when wild cougars are orphaned, if they can't go back to the wild, then they can go to sanctuaries where they won't be bred. Yeah, so something good came out of that. The sad thing is he'll always have to live in a cage, and you can find out all of the reasons why at bigcatrescue.org/go-free. Sadly, they can never go free if they were born in a cage, and even though he was born in the wild, he was born in the wild in Idaho, and Idaho doesn't allow predators to be released back to the wild. He can't be released here because he's not native to Florida, so it's just a bad situation all around for Aries, Artemis, and Orion. I was headed over to see if Baby Cakes was in the window, and then got sidetracked because Aries was being so adorable up there. Thank you everybody for sharing and for all the likes. All the hearts. Means a lot. I went out to check on the rehab Bobcats earlier, and I was very, very pleased that Noelle and Clover and Lucky could not be seen at all. They are so good at hiding. This is the window where the leopard weasel lives. Oh, you can't see through that screen for nothing. I have a feeling after they fed him, they probably locked this door, but we'll see. Aphrodite, yeah, it's locked. Aphrodite was, oh, that's pretty funny. I hear you, Narla. I'm sorry. I don't have my key. Which was dumb. I could end up being locked out of the locked out of the party house if somebody locks me out because I forgot my keys. Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, Aphrodite was running all over the place, but as soon as she saw me, she ducked under a coolaroo, so I was like, well, that's good. She's picking it up from the other guys, that you gotta stay away from people. There she is. There's the lioness. I heard you roaring earlier. You were roaring so loud. You were. Row, row, row. Row, row, row. Did you get some fun in Richmond? Was it fun? It was so fun. Oh, you're so good when there's no food involved. This is Nikita Lioness, and she was seized in a drug raid. The reason drug dealers like these guys is because they can buy them so cheaply, usually under $500 for a lion cub that's been used as a photo prop and then dumped. Sometimes they can even get them for free. What you gonna do? Gonna have a bath? And then once they get to be 200 pounds, by the time they're a year old, people can't get rid of them fast enough. No, he's so sleepy. Such a sleepy lion. In her case, though, what they did was they turned the lions loose when drug enforcement came on the scene and threw the money and the drugs out the back and tried to escape. Usually the cats are shot because drug enforcement doesn't know that they're just cubs and they don't mean any harm. And, you know, when this big 200-pound cat comes bounding towards you and they're all teeth and claws, it can be pretty scary looking. So thankfully in her case they called in the Nashville Zoo at Grassmere and they sedated her instead of killing her, but the zoos don't want these animals because they're all crossbred and inbred that come from the private sector. So they contacted us and said that they were going to euthanize her if we didn't take her. So we took her, and when they sent the Ryder truck down with her in the back of it, they also sent 3 Bobcats they didn't want any longer. And so all 4 of them have lived here the rest of their lives. Only one of those Bobcats is still alive. Her name is Andy. Yeah, Nikita and all of us are mourning the loss of Joseph. No more roaring back and forth to him, huh? It's very sad. Nikita doesn't like other cats, but she would call back and forth. They want to know how old you are. She was born in 2001. Look at you guys, you were right on top of how old she is. I almost didn't go live tonight because of the sound of those stupid ATVs right on the other side of the fence. For years, I have not had to pay attention. I've not had to listen to our neighbors' noisy sons racing around their cattle pasture on a ATV, but they are back with a vengeance today. Yes, she does roar back and forth with Cameron, so I'm sure they will continue to roar back and forth. You're just so beautiful. So very beautiful. Who's that on the cart? Could that be somebody doing evening meds? Sounds like they were going the wrong way. Yeah, when I had to go up to the gift shop to pick up my mail today, and I went all the way around the long end by Bobcat Rehab rather than walk past Joseph's enclosure, but finally ended up having to go past it twice now, and it's just really, really sad to see it empty. But on the other hand, that's exactly what we want. We want to see all of these cages empty. There's no reason for these guys to be living in captivity, and we are doing everything that we can to put an end to that. You saying I'm making too much noise? You would like to sleep? Is that what that roar was? Okay. Alright, I'll let you get back to your beauty nap. Yes, that's a good girl. She's a lover. fasten this. Trying to fasten the fence. There we go. I wonder sometimes what newcomers must think when they have just logged on and all they're seeing is a bunch of shaky video of the sky or the ground or something totally unexpected while I'm trying to fiddle around with some gate. Yeah, they do not miss being petted. Sometimes you might see an exotic cat in some video rubbing up against the wire, and that's not saying pet me. That's saying this is my space. They're marking that with their scent glands to let us know that we best keep every part of ourselves on our side of the fence. There go the interns. Looks like they've been working on a project. Lots and lots of branches. One of our big old trees fell over back in Bobcat rehab. It's going to take a bunch of people to get that back in a hole. I think maybe if we trim it way, way back, we might be able to do that. I must have missed the evening meds. Is it Manny? Is it Manny? Is it Manny being silly? Paul, thank you for donating. You're such a silly Jaguar. There's some really good Jaguar films coming out. They were candidates in the Big Cat Film Festival that concluded this weekend up in New York City. And so that means that they will soon be available for everybody to see after they've gone through the process of winning all kinds of awards. And some of the footage is just unbelievably spectacular. Sandra, thank you for donating. I forget where I was reading it, but somewhere recently they were saying one of the things that sets the Jaguar apart from a lot of the other cats is that the other cats will bite the neck or the throat to kill, whereas the Jaguar just bites right through the skull. That's some power. Natalia Leopard is on funcation. That wind noise is not so bad. I have a little bit of tape over my microphone to keep it from being too noisy, but you can never tell until I hear it in playback what that sounds like to you guys. You were hiding so well, Kathy. Thank you for the donation. Do you guys see her? There she is, peeking over the log. Little head just popped up from behind there. You having a bath back there? This is sweet Armani. She lost her sister last year, Jade. Very sad about losing her. Why, there is beautiful Natalia. I was just wondering if I walked around the outside whether it'd be worth it to catch a glimpse of her, and she was sitting right there behind us. Hi, Natalia. Hello. Leopards can leap 20 feet. Which means you would never see them coming. Oh, it's okay. I'm going to stay here. How about you stay up there? I'd much rather you stayed over there. Because then we can see you. Without ours in the way. I'm sorry. I did not bring any treats or anybody with treats. See? Nothing in my hands. They're empty. Were you snoozing? Do you like funcation? See what's hiding well. She's a fluffy one. Look how long that tail is. My goodness. Yeah, she was really shy when she first came, but not anymore. When I come in the mornings on my bicycle, she loves to chase the bike. I haven't seen her chase golf carts. Manny chases golf carts when he's in funcation. I haven't seen him do it in his regular cage. What are you doing back there walking in circles? Catherine, thank you for the donation. Just going to go over there and talk to Jinx for a while. Busy cat, that's for sure. Having a nice bath, Armani? Yes, you are. Joan, thank you for donating. Really is a beautiful evening. It's like 73 degrees. There's a nice breeze. Ooh, there's the Mets cart. I'm gonna chase it down. You running? I'm running. I'm running now. Ooh. A sickle. Did somebody bring you a sickle? It's a blood sickle. So what they do is they freeze the blood when they defrost the meat and give it to the cats as a nice little treat. I think I'm going to save that for later. Frank, the only way you would have a lion, a tiger, and a leopard in the same enclosure would be if they were possibly raised together. I can't think of any situation where that's lasted into adulthood. Lions and tigers, yes, but not leopards. Leopards are way smarter. way smarter. And thus a lot more deadly.
I
thought I heard you leaving the property earlier. Were you just arriving?
Just arriving.
Ah.
Yeah, I usually come around 3. I guess Diablo hasn't been eating well. So I have
that
a
on
little
the chart.
diet for him.
You think he's upset about the new neighbor? Did it start then?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, because he's not really close to him. I mean, if anything, he's probably upset because Chaos is paying attention to Hutch.
He's brokenhearted.
Yes.
Because Hutch is so much closer to her than he is.
And so much bigger. See if I can get him to take this one first, since it's got his pill. And I have his little diet. He ate some mush this morning, but not too much. Nat's over there looking for a treat.
Yeah, she was.
I think she's really liking it out here.
She loves vacation.
Nobody enjoys it more than Priya, though. Priya is the queen of vacation.
After her vacation, people were saying, best vacation ever.
I know. You're not coming in?
No, I make him nervous.
Where's my Diablo? Where's my Diablo?
We'll stand back here and see if Becky can get him to come over for some food.
Edie.
I'm exhausted. I don't know about you, but flying just totally wears me out. We got back yesterday, but I'm still just really tired. I can't see her. She's way too far back. I see you stalking me. I see you stalking. Seeing some really pretty cardinals out here today, too. I wonder if we can find Gabrielle. Gabrielle just had a huge mass removed from her belly, but she did great. She's now back in her primary enclosures. She has 2. Each one's about 1,200 square feet, so she's got about 2,400 square feet altogether. Just twice as big as my house. But we don't belong in cages, and neither do the cats. There she is sleeping. I'm gonna sneak up on her and be quiet. Maybe we won't wake her up. She's being very cute.
Gabrielle, you have the cutest little face. Just adorable.
As I could. Looks like Linda might be feeding her.
Yeah, yesterday all we got was the platform. Him and his chicken thighs, and I don't know, he must have been talking to Cameron about it, because now that's all Cameron wants is chicken thighs. Andre only wants ground beef. Giving us a rough time here, but at least we're able to find stuff.
Yeah.
You should have heard Bridget yesterday. She was cleaning off the memorial stones. And
That
she
was
said,
sweet.
She said it was her way to honor them. Just making me cry.
Yeah. No, I like when people do that.
Mhm.
I'm always like, every once in a while, I'll just be like, can we just clean the memorial garden? Because I feel it's important. And so
My problem with it is I
always say-
cry every one I wipe, you know, because I knew
You don't
them.
need a bucket of water.
Right. That's right.
But I cry because I miss them, you know. It's
Yeah.
very selfish, I know.
Yeah.
But she just said it so well, you know, to honor them, and it is. Because when they're clean, the public can see them and know about them. And
Yeah. They're like always impressed by how many species and how long they lived here. And, yeah.
how'd it go, Lauren? It was interesting. She just did recaps.
Oh. Tell us all about that.
It was good.
Stand in front of the tiger so we get cats in the picture.
The two little babies are still under the cooler roof. Yeah,
I
they.
did see a picture of at least the big one
Right.
walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
And I don't know which one the big one is.
Lucky.
Is that Lucky?
Okay.
Oh, I was hoping the little
And then Noelle's in her den, and I didn't see any sign of a live rat.
Well,
So I
that's
think-
good.
So that's a good sign. I looked in the tunnel, looked in the den, looked all around. And then Aphrodite, she was laying out in the sun. So
Did she move when she saw you?
she came towards me.
Because I went out there earlier
Yeah.
and she was all over the place, and then as soon as she saw me, she just disappeared under that cooler
no.
roof.
I think it's because I had food.
Oh, yeah, I
But,
had no food.
yeah, whilst I was cleaning the water bowl, she sat at the separating door, and I was trying to but no, she was hungry.
She was over on the second medium section for me, and she
Yeah.
never moved. She just watched me.
Yeah.
And when I put her food in, as soon as I raised that door, it didn't even take her 5 seconds.
I think that was her way of telling me I was late with dinner.
Yeah, yesterday they got it.
Linda was like, dang, that was big enough to be a cat on the other side of that fence.
I was like, I didn't hear you. I was like, she's so quiet. I know you're so quiet anyway. And I'm always like, I thought, oh, she must have gone with Becky. And then I was like, oh, no, she's still
Are you kidding? These people will reach right through Facebook and slap me if I walked away from Hoover getting fed.
Spoiling you tonight. Feeding you instead. You ate so good this morning, Daddy. You need some bones. Eat some bones. Some calcium.
Kathy wants to know how much food you try to feed him in a day. What's the goal?
The goal is 10 pounds. There's actually more than that in this bucket right now because some of it was left over. Well, if you didn't drop it, it wouldn't get leaves on it. So, well, he ate really well this morning. He already ate 4.5 pounds this morning, so I'm just sort of seeing how much more I can feed him. So, he ate 10.5 yesterday, which is really good for him. Papa, you don't like those bones? Huh? Here, how about this? Come on now. Want this? Come on. Backing up, backing up, backing up. No.
Linda's imitation's pretty funny.
Oh, have you done?
Oh, that's a giant curl.
Big stretch, huh?
Tom, thank you for the donation.
Tomorrow morning, the cats are getting ivermectin, which is their heartworm medicine, so they all need to be a little bit hungry in the morning so that they make sure they eat. So I'm not too concerned that he didn't finish this because he did eat this morning already. So
Tomorrow morning he's going to wish he had eaten this so he didn't have to get his wormer.
yeah, that was not too bad. The ivermectin, it's a panic cure.
Oh, yeah,
That's
you're
the one
right.
that's like paste. Ivermectin.
I think ivermectin tastes terrible, but the cats don't seem to mind it so much.
All right.
We'll see if there's any more cats between here and where I have to go hop on my bike, because I just realized I am at my, what do they call that? I can't think of the term when you have to be at a destination at a certain point in time. It's not a drop dead date, but something similar to that. If I don't leave by now, it's going to be dark by the time I get home, so I gotta get out of here. Liz, I have had ivermectin 20 years ago. I find it kind of amusing. I thought that I was unique in that I would taste everything that the cats ate to see what it is about it that they liked or didn't like, and see if there was any way that we could mask it. And I've come to find out over the years that it seems like everybody does that. I remember it being very bitter. Well, there's the happy couple. We'll duck in here and finish with them. It's Cameron and Zabu. We would not have put a lion and a tiger together because it's just such a stupid thing to do. People love it because it's unusual, and people love to be amazed by things that are unusual. But in their case, the people who had them before us had them together, raised them together from cubs because they wanted to breed flighters, which is a terrible thing to do. So as soon as they came here, we separated them until they were healthy enough to get fixed. And then we let them back together because Cameron loves Sabu. Sabu doesn't much care. She could go one way or the other. somebody just mentioned they're on the same blood pressure meds as their cat, and I'm always surprised how frequently cats have high blood pressure issues. You would think cats are just so chill that wouldn't be a problem, but I guess there's more to it than just stress. I'm sure people are grabbing screenshots of you two. I don't know if you can hear Zabu. She's like, that's good to know, Deb. Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. I have got to run while I still got a little bit of sunlight left. Talk to you guys later. Zabu, you're so silly.